All right, guys, we are excited. We're going to jump in. It is our Monday night team call. And I am Stephanie Dunn. This is Joel Dunn. For those of you that don't know who we are, we've been with the company for almost 12 years. And we got started. I really just wanted the product. Joel saw a little bit bigger
I wanted
vision.
to make the money.
Yes. And I thought, why not give it a try? If I could actually get started with something with immediate results and make some extra money, that's really why I got started. And I think back 12 years ago, and things have changed, but also things have stayed the same. It's really something that's so duplicatable. And so I'm excited because I remember when we got started 12 years ago, you guys, I just thought I was standing in food lines, life was tough. And just to make, I really thought, what if I could make $1,000? I didn't really think that was possible. What if I could do that? And Joel knew he was a little bit smart to get around the people that were having success. And this is why I'm so excited for this Zoom, is because they always talked about success leaves clues. And so one of the things that we were really good at is following the people that had the results that we were looking for. So we went straight to the top. And Kami Pentecost was that person in the company, and she'll tell a little bit of who she is for those of you that don't know. And I just remember going to anything and everything that I possibly could and just showing up in her face and being like, I'm going to be like her. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm really going to make sure that I follow that. And here we still are, still following her, still asking her. And I'm excited, you guys, to put Kami kind of in the hot seat. I gave her a little bit of the questions that I kind of had in mind. And you guys know, for those of you that are on the team page, it's all in April. And so I'm super excited because what a way to kick off the month with Kami, who's been around, seeing the company start from the ground up, being in the field and building all the way to the top, and then taking over as the senior vice president of field development. I was like, I got to make sure, because Kami, I really think of you as like my leader, my upline. So when I hear field development, like you wear hats well. She's an amazing coach, and she's just going to really share excitement, momentum, and vision of where we're headed. So Kami, let's see, can you unmute yourself? Maybe.
She's here.
She's there. Are you muting her?
No. She should be unmuted.
I hope so. Kami, can you get the on? Kami, where are you? Maybe we lost her. I don't know. So here I am giving this great like intro of who she is and where she's at. And now poof, she's gone. I don't know. Did we lose her on here?
Yeah.
Let's see. So I guess I'll share just a little bit more. So you guys, for those of you that don't even know who Kami Pentecost is, she was a distributor and she got to #1 earner to the top of the company. So she got there and they announced the Black Diamond, and we'll put the income disclosure at the end of this like we usually do, but a Black Diamond title came out because I remember she got to the top and then she's like, now what? She wanted a goal. She wanted something to run for. And when they brought out Black Diamond, that was just what she needed. And so you guys, she's done all of the steps that we're going to teach tonight, that we're going to talk about. And she got to the very tippy top. And I love that because she's still hungry to learn. She's still coaching. She's still, I think asking all of us as leaders, what's your insight? What do you think? So not only does she do stuff from the corporate side, but she also does it asking, what do we need as the field? What can I do to help you? So she's constantly learning and growing in that way. So we'll talk about that. Well, maybe, but this is one of the things that I wrote down, and you guys can write the stuff down too. I don't know if you're like me, but as I have my notebooks out for the year, the calendars and stuff, I don't know where she's at. So I'm just going to wing it because you guys know I can do that. Being #1 in the company, I've been around following the leader for a while too, so I can help you guys. But one of the things that I wrote down is if you want to be successful, find someone who's achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. I think that goes for today. Like, you're starting the beginning of the month. what are those goals that you want to hit? Maybe you're a new distributor and you want to go for Ruby. You're going to hear us talk about going Ruby, getting a Ruby bonus, going Emerald and getting that $5,000 bonus, then going to Diamond all the way up. So what is your goal for the month? If you don't have that, make sure that you write that down. And one of the things that we really wanted to talk about was momentum, how to keep it, how to get it going, and where to start if you haven't had that. And so that's something that we'll get right in. But newbies, follow maybe a Ruby, an Emerald. Follow somebody that has had the success and follow what they're doing. See what they're posting on social media. Are they showing up to things? Because like I said, success leaves clues. And that was one of the things. And one thing I still do is I'm always on everything. Even when I don't feel like it, I'm showing up, you know? So those are the things that you want to make sure that you do. So let's see, we should have Kami on here. I kind of, yes,
You
yes.
have
I said,
me. You have me.
I said,
sorry. I thought you guys froze, but apparently I froze because I got kicked out.
I'm like, well, if she doesn't show up, that's okay. I know what we can talk about, but so I don't know if you really heard anything, but I gave a really good intro.
Yeah, we gave the best intro for you ever.
Well, what I heard, I was like very humbled. I was like, oh, thank you. When I stopped being active in the chat room, you know, I stopped hearing things after that because I just got kicked out.
So I think, you know, what I just had said too is if you want to be successful is find someone that's achieved what you want. And that was me following you around. And I still do. I still poke and prod at you and like, give me all the details. What can you share with me? And we may beg you at the end, like, can you drip anything for us? But, you know, as we're texting you guys, Kami and I don't text a lot, but when we do, we know we're always like, how far can we go? Where can we go with it? I would hope that she thinks that my mind is always positive when we're always looking, how can we do more for you? How can we help that new distributor, the person that's been in for 2 years, the person that's been in 5 years and just ready to roll? And momentum is a big thing, I feel like right now, Kami. And this was something I had wrote down is the most important thing you can do to achieve your goals, to make sure that as soon as you set them, you immediately begin to create momentum. So you guys just heard me at the beginning of this say, what's your goal? Where are you going for this month? And jump in. And Kami, how important is it to like, just jump in?
Okay, so I feel like I have so many things I want to share because we were texting a lot today and you were like, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that, I want to talk about this. And, you know, one of the things that, first of all, I wanted to share, and I don't know why this one touches me like it does, but, you know, Mark says the reason he got into this industry is because he just needed a vehicle. He just needed a vehicle that allowed him to make some money. It reminds me of you guys' story, Joel and Stephanie. You know, I mean, you were doing all the right things and you had all the businesses and what people would look to as this is how you get ahead, right? But again, just a vehicle that if I go to work, the sky's the limit. And so I think the first thing I wanted to say to you guys today is, number one, you're in great company if that defines you, because that would be Mark Pentecost, your CEO. That would be these two Black Diamonds, top income earners. That defines myself. I wouldn't call myself any like master presenter. I wouldn't call myself, you know, any public speaker that has eloquent words, maybe, you know, really great at host to post and all the sayings, but I was going to outwork everybody. And when Mark was talking about that book last night called Relentless, I mean, I think they said that Michael Jordan, if coach said make 20 free throws before you end tonight, he'd go for 21 or 23, you know, like he wanted to go just a little bit more. And I remember when I was coaching, I used to tell the girls, I was like, if you really want to be the captain of this team, if you really want to be the person that changes the game, you're going to be the first one in, you're going to be the last one to leave. You know, like what is setting you apart? What is making you different than everyone else? And so when Stephanie says, Kami, what does it take to get momentum? You know, what does it take to, what are you guys calling April? All in April?
All in April.
All in April. What does that look like? It is outworking everybody else. You know, they say if you're not training, someone else somewhere is, and when you face them, they will beat you. And so my thought was, if I can just make sure I'm the one that's training all the time, if I'm the one that's outworking, outlasting, again, I might not be the most skilled player in the room, but I'm definitely setting myself up for something really, really special. And, I think, Stephanie, that's what to this day makes me love what we do. And it is not for the faint at heart. It is not for everybody. But how many of you are on here today that you are praying for something? You were like, Lord, bring me something because I need something, more income, more time, relationships, fun. Jesus, I've heard people say to me constantly, I joined this business because I needed to make money, but I didn't know that Jesus was going to be the best part of this whole package, but I guarantee that you're praying for this, and it's not going to come without hard work, but it will come with some great results. And that's what I think Joel and Stephanie, myself, Mark, we can wholeheartedly say to you without a shadow of a doubt is if you're willing to work hard, everything will change. Everything will change for you.
And, it's not, I think people think, oh my gosh, it's hard. But if you can say focused hard, I know for me, my hard before it works was going to work, never seeing Joel, never seeing my daughter, missing so many things that Taylor was in school with. I wanted to be the mom at her classroom, going to the Halloween parties, doing those things. And we couldn't, we were barely getting by and no hours. So we were like strapped. And so when people say, well, this is hard, I'm like, you don't know what hard is then. And I think that's a choice, right? We hear about that all the time.
Choose your hard.
Yeah, choose your hard.
Yeah.
And I love that we've, as the company, have shifted, and you can do this anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is at your fingertips. There's so many leaders that want your success for you, but you have to decide that.
Well, and one thing on choosing your hard, you can have a hard that doesn't create momentum. You can choose a hard that gets you nowhere, or you can come alongside us and choose a hard that creates momentum, that creates residual income, that creates the things that you truly want. You just didn't know that you had access to. So that's why I love when we talk about choosing your hard. You just need to know the answer to what that hard produces.
Yeah. I think that sometimes we think, oh my gosh, this is hard work, but really what is hard? Is it scary? Sometimes maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say, but you have that person that enrolled you, that upline somewhere that's connected, that's willing to help you through those. And so, when we're talking about this too, I know showing up and looking for the answers, and you can find whatever you want, whether that's good or whether that's bad. And I know that there's a lot of success in this company, and that's what I'm going to choose to look for. And I know that people continually will say, well, how do you guys do that? How do you continue to show up? And, I'm learning just as much as that new distributor, because things shift and change. And are you willing to run with that and learn from it and grow? And that's one thing I've always just shown up. I think if you want success with this, if you want to create momentum, if you're like, I'm hearing all these people promoting, and Kami, I can't wait to hear how many promotions happened last month. I'm sure the list is out of this world. And so that's exciting to me, knowing, okay, if you've been in 3 years or 5 years or 10, you can decide today to have the success that somebody just did 2 months ago. Like, hands down, there's no question. They just decided, right?
Oh, it's totally a decision. And I love what you were saying. We do get to pick our heart. And you guys, even on the hardest days when it works, the scariest, the challenging for real, or challenging because it's in your mind, it was never as challenging or as hard as my best day teaching, And so I do think you've got to be able to compare it. And it comes down to a decision, guys. So, sometimes being in the field with you guys, when I hear your woes, when I hear the hard things you guys are going through, or just the life stuff that you're battling, it's easy for me I'm just very empathetic, actually. And it's easy for me to go, oh yeah, that is hard. Oh yeah, that's right. Take the month off. Oh yeah, that's right. Like, I get why you're not focused and why you're not working. And then all of a sudden it's like, something hits me upside the head, and I'm like, no, actually things are just going to be worse at the end of that. Things are just going to be harder. And I'm not setting you up for success if I'm telling you it's okay. You guys, I've had a divorce, actually almost 2 divorces, same guy. not the first time, second time for sure. Miscarriage. And I thank God for it works every day. You know what makes a miscarriage harder? Being broke. You know what makes being a divorce harder? Being broke, not being able to pay your lawyer bills. And so, I could have thrown myself into plenty of other worse things than working and being around positive and like-minded people. And that's what this business did for me. So for those of you that have life stuff happening right now, and quite frankly, all of us do at some level, whether it's, a financial crisis, the political climate we're in, social injustices that are hitting us hard. And then let's talk about maybe the depression or the health issues that you've got going on. Like, you guys, please do not mistake what I'm saying as those are not challenging things, but it is even worse when you don't have freedom of time or freedom of finances. That's even worse. Why not set yourself up to go through those hard things in a better way? And so again, I get caught up when you guys are going through that stuff, and I want to give you grace. And I'm here to tell you tonight, you don't get to have grace. You don't get to make excuses. We all have a lot of stuff going on. And if I'd be lying to you if I told you that you're only going to have a few hard things hit your life now and then. The reality is, it's not a matter of if hard stuff is going to happen to you all the time. It's how often all the time, right? Like, how many things are going to come at you? When they say it rains, it pours, like it just does. But I can't imagine doing any of this life stuff without a business like this. So let's bring on April, right? Let's make April abundant. And I'm telling you, if you want it to flower in May, then you better make it rain in April. And the only way to do that is how much you're sowing. And you can say, I'm not an Instagrammer. You can say, I don't speak well. I don't think I'm a closer. But the reality is, the more you do it, the better you get. That's just the reality. The more people you ask, the more that are going to say yes. The more times you post, the more likely you're going to get people commenting on those posts. The more of these team calls you show up to, the more likely your confidence is going to grow. And can I just say this, Joel and Stephanie, when you talk about hanging around with like-minded people and, success leaves clues, if you are allowing yourself to be around people who are stuck like you are, or broke like you are, struggling to figure out how to make it happen, you're not going to move forward. You have to be around the people that are. I think, Stephanie, that's what makes you and Joel so special, is you are at the top and you are doing the things, but you're also not afraid to get around the people that are coming in with new ideas going, what are you doing? How can I learn from you? You're always open to growth and learning. And I think that's what keeps you so relatable, but I also think is what keeps you in the game like you are. I mean, obviously, if you guys are running a cold or fever, you don't go to the veterinarian. You just don't, you're going to the doctor, or you're going to a naturopath. If your car's broke down, you're not taking that sucker to the veterinarian. You're not. You're taking it to a dealership where it can get fixed and you can find solutions. And so, wherever you are right now, I heard Stephanie say it. If you're a brand new distributor, what are the rubies doing? What are the emeralds doing? What are the diamonds doing? If you've been with us for 5 years and you're not where you want to be and you're in a bit of a stuck moment, then get around people that are moving forward. I don't care how long they've been in, because at the end of the day, when you get around just that creativity, the sparks that happen, just they create a forest fire or something that burns out of control in a good way. And so don't allow yourself to be in a space with people that aren't going in the direction you want to go. And the minute you hear people being negative, that is a sure tell sign that you are not where you should be right now. If that's not where you want to go, then don't be around it. If you entertain it, that's what you'll focus on, and that's where you'll follow.
And that's easy to go, like Kami said, a team member comes to you. If you're a diamond above, you've got people coming to you with things. And, who are the ones, I think I've heard Mark say this a lot of times on the call is, who are the ones that, you look at the phone and you're like, oh no, or you're like, oh, I can't wait to talk to them. Like, so there's always something like, for me, I'm like, okay, well, shoot, this isn't the best day. What can I do? Or who can I just reach out to be encouraging to them? Because sometimes that flips my day. So it's not that I don't have hard days, you guys, because I know when you're at the top, everybody's gunning for you. All of the problems, all of the things will be like, it's like a machine gun sometimes at me, like, oh my gosh. But I've learned that I'm going to still do the work that I need to do first, and then go back to those things that I need to take care of. Those aren't necessarily always priority. It's getting my ass out for the day, getting, who is the new distributor? Have they checked in? What are those things that we can do to lead the results to keep that momentum going? So I've learned in the 12 years what my time, where it's focused, and how to keep going. And I think also, I'm sure Cami does this as well, is I know, like, okay, I'm not going to miss this. So if there's, even if I'm not feeling well or something, like, I still know that I need to show up. So if I know I'm going to go travel, I need to show up an hour before, an hour after. So, I think about this as a brand new distributor. What is the importance where, and maybe you guys, you're just starting today. Maybe you're just going, you know what, I've been in 3 years, but this is my starting day. And that's okay too. Like, scratch it. Maybe you're just like, I just wanted, Cami was going to be on. So this was the night for me to just start over, all in April. I'm going for it. Where do I begin, Cami? I mean, where would I start? I know, but
Well, if you're starting right now, you start at the beginning. Number one, make sure your auto ship is set up. Are you going to be commission qualified for the month? That's having an 80 BV auto shipment set up. Why? Because no matter where your business is, you want to make sure you're getting qualified to get paid every month. Also, if you're brand new and you're like, well, I'm not getting paid yet, why would I care? Well, you need to be a product of the product. You've got to be using the products. So you're excited about the products. You're sharing the products naturally. So number one, set up your auto ship, get qualified. Number two, gather 6 customers. Go out and find 6 new customers. I'm telling you, as people start using the products, as people start using the products, that just gives you enthusiasm around what you're sharing. And so make sure you get 6 new people using the products, and then start building your business to Ruby. Whether you've been in for 3 years, like she was saying, or you're brand new today, go out and find 3 people that want to do this as a business. 3 people that were like, hey, you know what? I'm loving these products. Why not get paid for sharing them? I'm on social media anyways. Why not make a little side hustle money? Hey, I'm already on the go, and I got a bunch of moms around me that are looking for healthy products on the go that are also affordable. You're trying to find 3 of those people, and then you're just simply going to walk this through with them. So just start from scratch. Even if you're not eligible for the shopping spree, pretend like you are. Get yourself some product credits. Every time you gather 2 customers, you get those product credits. Just start over. It's never too late to have a brand new, fresh start. And for many of us, we need fresh starts. But if you're brand new right now, don't complicate it. Don't be thinking of, all the hundreds of people you feel like you need to sign up to get to diamond, double, triple. Just start at Ruby. Step 1, get qualified. Step 2, get your customers. Step 3, find 3 people that want to do this with you. And then you teach them that same thing. Keep it super simple. And I'm telling you, when you have those small little wins, it gets you excited to have more wins.
I'm so glad, and I know Joel is the same way, that we have the steps to success, that it is simple, because I know if I would have came in and saw something huge and big, it would have scared me. Like, so that's all I still focus at every single day, month, is one at a time. And you guys may have heard this before, is how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And the power of even just enrolling one, what that can do to not only your mindset, but how you can teach them, and maybe they take off. And Cami knows this. One person can change your business, right, Cami?
Oh my gosh, one person. You're an example of that. And how many times have we seen that over and over again? Just one person, what they can do.
And it's crazy, I think. And how do you do that? You stay in the game. You run that auto ship. You use those products. You keep asking, because if you don't ask, somebody else is going to ask them. And that's the worst feeling. And I know Cami might have felt this way. I've done it before, where I asked too late. It's rare that I don't ask, but it's happened. And so then you're like, dang it, why didn't I do it? So, as you're gathering these customers, you guys, don't forget to offer the business. It changes people's lives. And why not get incredible product at a discount and make some extra money? And when you're talking to them like that, like kind of like nonchalant, but like excited, it takes the pressure off. And I think that's why I've always been like, I'm like, well, why wouldn't you try? It's awesome. Like, you're going to get the product anyway. You're going to get amazing results. So speak those words to them. And this is something I haven't asked Cami this in a long time. But say you're actually building the business, Cami, and newbies get this too. They get the question, well, what do you do? Like, what, your 10-second, 20-second, 30-second, like, elevator spiel, like, what do you do? And people always are like, help, what do I do? So Kami, give us yours, and then you guys can hear and you can create your own. But I haven't asked you this in like forever.
I know. And I'm going to give you what I would say, but then you guys, we might want to adapt it to the time. So there's that. But I would just say I simply help people get healthy. And, you know, I make money from my phone, and I'm able to work around my family activities and the demands of just being a mom. And so I think it changes a little bit. I used to say I help people look younger and live longer. And they'd be like, what? How? You know, I would say I help people get skinny drinking coffee. I help the busy mom that can't seem to make time for her health be healthy. You know, so like it depends who my audience is a little bit, but those are a couple things. I give people a stream of income so they can work from their phones. You know,
that's a great one. I like that one. I like that. But I'm driven by money.
And that's what I was too. And so I love the one-liners that make them go, wait, huh? What'd you just say you do? You know, like those little one-liners that people are like, wait, what does that mean?
So you guys, that's a tip. Newbies, you know, ask in the team page, what is it that I do? Is there some one-liners that we could be sharing in team pages? Because I know that sometimes that's a scary, like, even first, like, what do I do? So if you have good ideas, you guys put them out there, because it's so good to live in an abundance and just share that and watch it come back to you, like be that boomerang and have it come back. So if you have some of these, put them in the chat. What is it that you do? And I know I'll share some of those, you know, as well. But I think sometimes we get stuck there, but I love being a social influencer. I love our products, and I actually help, you know, teach people how to earn income right from their phone. And it's so easy to be able to take this anywhere and everywhere. And right now we have some pretty incredible bonuses that you'd be eligible for, up to 35,000 in bonuses. You know, are you open to hear more about that? So really, you know, again, you can touch on the people that may be money driven. So sometimes you want to have that conversation where there's money involved, because that's all they need to see is 35,000, maybe 5,000, even 500. You know, we don't know what that number is that somebody can just do it. But I also know for me, I was like, well, if I could just make $1,000, that'd be great. And there was no bonuses. You know, you like, can you make a lot of money with no bonuses? Yes, this is just extra. This is a little icing on the cake. But, you know, if you work this business every day, you are going to be paid like you're working every day, and run this like $1 million business, you guys. That was something, when I followed Kami, I was like, man, she is a boss. She's like, she makes a lot. I didn't know what a lot was back then, but everybody talked about getting to diamond, and that was your license to print money. So for those of you that are new or you haven't hit diamond yet, go for diamond all in April. I am telling you what, getting to diamond was like what shifted everything for me. I didn't know what it was. We didn't have an income chart or anything like that. But
we're so old, we didn't have an income chart.
I heard get to diamond. Yeah, get to diamond. And really, it wasn't that first diamond check. It was that second one, especially if you're recruiting people, right, Kami? And then double makes another jump. So when you're listening to people, that momentum, like, you don't want to miss it. And I talk about momentum because I know what it's like. Kami knows what it's like to be in that. And you want to keep that going. So there's going to be times when you feel like, man, I'm tired. But in a real job, when I was tired, I still showed up. And I think that's the key for us being where we're at, is we show up because we know that it's easy to fall out of that work ethic.
Yeah. The difference between being an employee and being an entrepreneur, business owner like you are with this, is with an employment mindset, you have to go to work. With what we do, you don't have to, you get to. But sometimes the get to gets past you. So you have to keep going with that momentum mindset of, I have to do this, like you do when you're an employee. Because if you don't show up to your job, you don't get paid. Well, when you don't show up for your business, you don't get paid either. So make sure that you don't, like Steph said, slip into that routine of not showing up for your business because you don't have to.
Yeah. I know one of the things too that I was talking about, Kami, was consistency. You know, you don't have to know everything. I think that's, thank the Lord, you don't have to be a certain way, because you guys, I remember this, going and watching Kami and learning from her. And she was a school teacher. And so she's very, like, I didn't realize I was messaging back and forth with Pam. Well, she needed the date. She needed all this because Cami is very structured like a teacher. And of course she runs the whole company. But I was like, man, she presents so good. I'm not a Cami. And I remember the moment that I was just like, I just need to show up consistently as myself and people will follow that. That's kind of when a shift happened for me. And I don't know if Cami's ever really heard me say that, but I remember feeling intimidated, like, oh man, what if I have to do it like that? It's not going to work out like that. But you know what? I really want this and I don't care. I'm going to figure things out along the way. And here I am. And so that's where I think consistency comes into play. And I think you've seen that, Cami. Obviously, I don't even know how long you've been in. If we've been in almost 12 years, how long have you been with It Works, like working it?
16 years. Like, I don't even know how that happens. I don't even feel old enough to have a 16-year-old. He's going to be 16 in June, but he was 9 months old when I started this business. And so, almost 16 years, I'm starting the 16th year, but consistency is super powerful. And I read somebody put in the chat, they were like, I've done all I can do. I've reached out to all I can reach out to. And that's where I'm just going to say, this is where consistency comes in. Sorry, I keep getting phone calls. And so it keeps, no, don't call me. But it isn't about what other people say, you guys. It's about, you're just going to keep consistently putting it out there. You're going to be consistent on social media. You're going to be consistent about how many people you follow on social media, how many people you message, how many people you ask to put a post up for you, how many people you say, hey, let me show you what I've been doing. It's those consistent activities that you keep getting it out there, what you're doing, what It Works is, and how it can benefit them, whether they're, you're telling them about the products or the business. It really is about that consistency that's going to help grow your business. And then Joel talks about this all the time. He talks about the law of sowing and reaping, law of the harvest. And so all we can control is the sowing aspect. And then we have to trust God with the harvest aspect. And I promise, after 12 years like the Duns, 16 years after like myself, that consistency over time, you're going to have people coming in and regularly hitting you up because you've been so consistent and they've been watching you for so long. Maybe they said yes and then quit, and then now they're coming back. Maybe they said no, but now it's time to say yes. So that consistency is king when it comes to having consistent results, to be quite frank.
You guys, there's going to be excuses for everything. Like, I've reached out to everybody. How do you think me and Cami feel? Like, man, we've been doing this for 12 years. I'm pretty sure there's nobody left. Like, we could say the same thing, or, it's a constant, like, shifting out people in our inbox. I didn't have Facebook when I started this business, you guys. I just learned to start there and add more people and be genuine about it. And the same thing when Instagram came around. I was like, man, these girls are crushing on Instagram. I'm not really sure how to do this. And so then I started with that. So when you want something bad enough, you're going to figure it out. I think you talk about figure outable, so showing up and going, make it a consistent, like, I'm going to grow my network so that I have more people to do that. You guys, I think too, like, we just came back a couple of weeks ago from California and we were walking around, and I think I might have talked to Cami about this too, is you need to get your Blitz cards back out. Maybe make a business card of what you are. And if you're out and about, people are back being social again. And so don't forget about that one-on-one. That waitress may not feel so secure having that waitress job anymore. And you slip her a business card and say, I just love your personality. You could make some extra money just by doing what I do. I'd love to chat more with you after you get out of work. That was something we've always done. And so it was such an eye opener for me to do that when people were like, I don't even know what It Works is. I was like, what do you mean? And it's in content.
I was texting with two guys today that had no idea what It Works is.
And it blows my mind. And so when I hear people say, well, I've talked to everybody. No, you haven't. You think in your mind, like, you get a new car and that's the one you see everywhere. So you assume everybody has it, right?
Maybe you've talked to everybody, but here's the thing. If you want to be 100-aire, talk to the people that you know. If you want to be 1,000-aire, talk to the people in your city. If you want to be a 10,000-aire, talk to the neighboring cities and the states. If you want to be 100,000-aire, a millionaire, then you start thinking nationally and globally. The thing is the great thing about this business model is it was designed for social media age. So you guys have actually picked up when this was perfect. I mean, when we started, back when Kami started, honestly, Steph was going around sweaty pits, knocking on doors, walking into strip malls, talking to people. I think everybody like 27 and below would have a heart attack if they had to go do something like that. There's some really amazing go-getters out there, but I think the majority of them would have a panic attack having to go talk to a physical human. With social media, guys, it has opened a door to where you don't have to live in France to have a French team. You don't have to live in Mexico to have a Mexican team. You don't have to live in Grand Rapids, Michigan to have a Grand Rapids team. Guys, it's opened a door to make I don't have any more people to talk to an obsolete excuse / reason.
That's so good. So Kami's gave us some really good, momentum, consistency, how to talk to people, you guys, keeping it simple, coming up with your one-liners, having that goal and jumping in and running for it. And you get to create that. Like, I think that's the best thing about this is there's no excuses. We all have tired days. We all get those days, but I'm telling you, this gives you a purpose. You get to help people. You get to teach people. You get to have a community, that relationship. Relationship is so important, you guys. I know me and Kami talk a lot about this is, I may not be a mass recruiter, but I'm a consistent recruiter. And Kami can look at my numbers and go, she's right. She's not super mass, but man, has she been consistent in 12 years. And duplication, that's what you want. So take a little bit of time, and maybe somebody that's not your personal, but you dig down deep into the depth of your business and you help them and take them under their wing. But I think when you can create a relationship, they stick it out. They're more open to talk, look for those ideas. So Kami, if you were getting a newbie in, what would you suggest on the relationship part? Do you text a lot? Do you get them in team pages? Like, what are some tips that you could give on that?
Well, number one, if you don't know these things as you're bringing them into the business, then this is crucial that as soon as they join the business, find out a little bit about their family, find out if they're married, how long they've been married, what kind of job they have or don't have, why are they doing this business? And they may not even know why yet, but if you listen and become a student of them enough, you're going to learn what their want, need, or hate is very quickly, which will help you to attach this business to, why they're here. And quite frankly, you guys, when people know what they want, the how takes care of itself. And so, is there a team page? Is there, maybe a messenger group? Is there a call I get them on? I'd say, yes, you're going to have a system like that. But to me, the number one thing is building that relationship. I think there's a reason why in my whole career with It Works, I only ever had 2 personally enrolled diamonds and above leave. I only ever had 2. And I think it's because I built such strong relationships. And even when those 2 left, we're actually still friends. We still talk. They didn't do anything disgusting about it, or at least not that I know. And I think people usually want to tell you when they're doing something somebody's doing something like that. But and so you guys, I'd make it a regular habit to be texting them and picking up the phone and talking to them on the phone on the daily. Why? Because even if you think they're doing good and having a good day, one little mishap can change the trajectory of everything. And if you're not in touch with them, then you're not going to know. And they'll be here today, gone tomorrow. So relationship is everything to me. And when you develop the relationship, you also are giving yourself the right to speak into their life, to speak into their business, to mentor them, to guide them, to give them constructive criticism, to call them out when they're making excuses. But if you don't have that relationship, you don't get to do that.
And it goes both ways. I heard Kami say, be an advocate. If you need more, if you're new and you're like, man, should I text this person? If you want this business, you absolutely text your enroller or ask on those team pages, because there is somebody that's like, man, I need to grab this person and I need to run with them. They're asking all the right questions. And that's the key, right questions, guys, not complaints, but learning. How can I grow? Oh my gosh, I saw this. What would you recommend? Like stuff like that. And be so connected with that person that enrolled, or that diamond and above leader, because that was me. Kami, Carla knew I was just running, but there was times when I would reach out, and that was the times they were like, oh, she needs something. And that was it. And that's all I need. And I'd carry on. And so I think newbies, we're going to spend time with you. Leaders, we love you. We're not going to spend as much time with you because we trust in the process. We trust that you're doing the duplication. But if you feel like you need us, don't be afraid to reach out because we love you. And in my mind, everything is good. Like they're running. So if there's something that you just feel like I'm stuck, I wouldn't know because I'm assuming because I'm seeing massive growth that everybody's like massive growth. And so I'm not looking behind going, oh, they haven't enrolled anybody. I rarely look at reports or anything other than I'm head down and focused, blinders on. I'm like a thoroughbred racehorse. I do not look at what's not working. I'm like, this is what we do. We help people get amazing customer pricing and great products, right? That's our loyal customer program. If they don't want to do that, there's retail, but why not make money and get started? And I can teach you how to do that and help guide you on how you can get your 6 customers with that 30s list, because 100s list sounds scary, but our 100s list, something like that. So that's really what we do. We get paid 2 ways, and that's by gathering customers and distributors. So that's what I focus on. And a lot of those are coming in, you guys. Like it is, I would love to see what's behind the scenes, like I said to Kami. So you guys, things are so good. We're going to wrap this up, but you guys have learned, like, it's really, it's hard. It's simple. It's hard no matter what we choose in life. It's rewarding. We get to get paid what we want. So get to Diamond and get that payout as quickly as you can, get that license to print money. You're going to hear that over and over for years to come, and create that momentum and keep it going. Be that consistent leader that you want to see. So if you see me up there, it's because I've been consistent. I've learned to do it. I just feel like this is what God put me on earth to do, was to help people and lead people. And I'm not the perfect leader, but I love to help people. I want your success more than we want it for, you sometimes want it for yourself. But with that, oh, Joel has something.
Yeah, I have one question, Kami, and it may be a short answer. So with building your own momentum and creating your own momentum, how important is your attitude / energy / excitement to get momentum going?
It's everything. Like you guys, I heard in church yesterday, like blessed, like, somebody was given credit for their faith, but blessed is the person who believes without seeing. And like, that's to me, belief, energy, enthusiasm, perspective, it's everything. It is absolutely everything in this business. Why? Because it permeates from you. People can feel your energy, they can feel your belief, or they can feel your lack of belief. And if you're like, I don't have it and I don't know how to get it, like, there's practical ways to get it. And then there's a spiritual way to get it. The spiritual way is to pray for it. Pray for it and have faith that it's going to happen. Lord, guys, just so you know, when I went Black Diamond, there were no Black Diamonds. There were nobody earning six figures a month. Like that was not happening. So when those of you say, well, I can't see it, then you can't see it. That's not an It Works problem. That is a vision problem. That is a belief problem, because it absolutely is possible. If you're like, obviously you can see ambassadors, you can see that, they're all around you guys, but it's everything. And so, and what are the practical ways? Gratitude every morning, reading books of like-minded people, getting around people like this. I love all the diamond calls we do, these team calls we do, where you're learning and hearing the stories that are out there, that are people that are having success. But you guys, it's everything. You can do it. You can have your affirmations. You can absolutely make sure that it happens. You just have to decide. And that's everything. I mean, I can't even, I think that's what you and I were talking about this week. Stephanie was just like, I don't know how some people can get so negative. We protect our mind and our energy and our enthusiasm so fiercely. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening around us, political climate, pandemic, illnesses. I mean, you guys, if you think Stephanie doesn't have stuff going on in her personal life that could take away from everything she's doing in this business, you are kidding yourself. That she's just not allowing you to see it all because she's so focused and she wants to be such an encouragement to you. But I also believe Stephanie would probably say it's this business that keeps her head on straight when all that stuff is happening. It's you guys inspiring her to keep her focusing on positive things when there's other things going on around you. So It is a choice, but it is one that you get to make. And again, it goes back to what we started with. You get to pick your heart. So, you know, what's harder? For me, it was harder to send my kid to school and let other people raise him than it was for me to hear no, for people to quit, for people to like roll their eyes at me when they saw my post on social media. Like that stuff was hard, but the idea of sending him to school and someone else raising him was harder. And so I picked that hard. You guys get to do that same thing.
So you said something in there, the vision, the belief. Like, I know that I put a ridiculous amount out there, like I'm going to make $500,000 a month, and people think I'm absolutely crazy. And I remember when I wrote 225, and I remember when that happened, and I was like, that was crazy too. And I had it written down for years. So I think I've followed such a vision, and you know, being on the other side now, I mean, she has a little bit of insight, you guys. You guys got to drop a one. Can't we give us something? Like, share a little bit of like, I'm always like, you guys, I'm so excited, but I don't get to know everything. And so, you know, the vision, because you're around Mark all the time. That is one thing I would love just to see his, I know Joel would too, the like, bigger vision.
I want to be the Nest Cam in the corner with the microphone in all the meetings.
Maybe not all, but most, right? So,
well, let me tell you this. If you guys knew what I knew with what's happening at the event at the end of this month, okay, whether you are at your highest rank or you are not, you would be working your butt off to get to your highest rank and start moving beyond. And you might say, but Kami, I'm a diamond and I'm barely qualifying ruby. Well, then work your butt off to get those numbers back up to diamond. I'm just telling you guys, if you knew what was still coming this month, pedal to the metal, you know, get that rank back. Or for those of you that are reaching a new rank you have not reached, like, you just keep going for it. So that's the first thing. That's a short-term vision. How about that? Okay, and so make sure you guys make sure you guys plan to be at that event in April. And then the other thing I would say to you guys is, you know, what I love about It Works is we're not sitting around hoping that we grow. We're not sitting around hoping. We're a legacy company. We're making plans to do that. We have a massive announcement happening the second half of this year. You know what I love about Pam's retirement, Mark talking about becoming chairman of the board? Do you know what I love about that? Is we can't keep doing the same thing. We can't expect to grow to that next level with the same thing we've been doing year after year after year. And while change is never easy, it's necessary. And we're not going to be stale. We're not going to stop. We're not going to rot. We're growing. And so be at the event at the end of this month. And then I'm telling you, the event we announced at the end of this one, we are about to launch something It Works has never done before, but I believe it will make history. I know it will make history. It is something, Joel, we have been talking about for a very long time. You've said to me, and you don't even know it because you said a lot of this stuff to me. You said, if we like, just did this, it would be a game changer. Well, it's one of those things, and it's one of the biggest ones we've talked about. So it's going to be a pretty... So it's going to be a real special end of the year.
I think work like your hair's on fire. Just be so excited. Get around the people that are excited. Like, I love that Joel asked that question to Kami, because you get to create your own energy. I say all the time to Joel, if I'm like, just hold your smile for 30 seconds. You know, when you put a smile on your face for 30 seconds, and it changes your whole attitude, the whole energy around you, and it attracts people. I mean, that is something that's so powerful. So when you're thinking, where do I start? It's the beginning of the month. Run that auto ship. I told them, I think Kami wasn't quite on. I panicked the second month in. I was like, why am I not commission qualified? And from that moment on, we've always ran it on the first. If there's like something that didn't happen, we're like, what the heck is going on? Like I think last month or something, it was, well, because we needed to run higher BVs or whatever. So, you know, make sure that you're commission qualified, make sure that you have your steps to success printed out, those charts, so that you know where you're going, where you're headed, and start your momentum today. Be excited for where you're going. Newbies, I remember thinking, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but this product is amazing. I just tested it out. It tastes great, whatever product it is, you know, it tastes great. I'm going to be getting more energy and losing weight. You should be doing this with me. The way that you talk through that with excitement, people want to be part of that. So that's how you create momentum. If you're new, if you're if you're feeling like this is my time, I've been in it for 3 years, but I'm ready, you can talk out loud to yourself. I think I asked Kami that question. Do you talk to yourself out loud? Like we have to be our own best cheerleader, because we got to set the pace for where we're headed. And so I know Joel's always been like this. I am awesome. Like, you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm signing 2 distributors today. I'm getting 3 loyal customers today, you know, knowing where you're going so that you can create that. I don't beat myself up if I don't happen, but dang it, I'm going to drive like it's crazy. Like I'm going to hit that goal. And soon your team follows suit. They're showing up. They want to be around that excitement. They know where you're going. So you guys, the end of the day, if you know where you're going, don't let somebody distract you and take you down. You go with or without them. I think that's something I've always said. This is where I'm going. Kami's saying this is where they're headed. They're going to be, you know, multi-billion-dollar company. I'm going to be right there with them. I trust that. So I'm going to run. So I don't worry about who's not with me. I'm running with the ones that are with me. And if they want to come along for the ride, you know, anytime, you guys are always welcome to jump back in the game. And I think sometimes it's okay to take a break if that's what you want to do. That's your decision. But that doesn't mean the business doesn't work. It just means you decided not to work. And so, Kami, I have learned from you for almost 12 years. I appreciate you. I appreciate you always showing up, because it's made me who I am. It made me want to show up and be the best that I could be. I'm like, if she's doing this for you guys 16 years and she wears a lot of hats and she's got a family, like that's impressive. So I know not only from me and Joel, but we appreciate you. We don't say it enough that we appreciate you for everything that you do. We love you.
I mean,
love
I
you.
say it enough. I don't know
Yeah,
what she's
Joel
talking
probably
about.
does. We dig at her more than you guys know. So I want you to know we're the voice for you guys a lot of the times. But we love you guys, and she loves you. And so we have this great communication back and forth that we can do that. So I hope that it was a treat for you guys to have Kami on tonight. I've been trying for a little bit. So God knew that we needed it at the beginning of the month, because we're making it rain in April. It's all in April for you guys. We can't wait to see you guys at the spring training. If you're new, go get your spring training. That was the one thing that I did for my business that changed it, was I got to an event and it changed everything for me. So, Kami, thank you. Thank you again. I'll see you in the winner's circle, because I know that I busted my butt for that winner's circle.
I can't wait. We'll announce them on Sunday.
I mean, so we're excited. If you want to go, you guys, go for it. Don't take yourself out, because I think hearing some of the numbers from last month, there's a lot of exciting diamonds that are going to be probably going to the ranch. So you guys can make that happen. All right, you guys, we will see you again next Monday. Thank you again, Kami. Make sure you guys go give Kami some love, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Joel and Stephanie. Love you guys.
Love you
Me
too.
too.